Good afternoon, it's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube, and I am here to pull some cards and share some guidance for this week ahead. So welcome. I'm coming to you live now from Tasmania, Australia. It is Monday the 6th of September here at exactly 12:52 p.m. So I trust this video and message finds you well. I want to send out an extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light family, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. So if you're new to watching, welcome. What I'm going to be doing is using my deck of cards here, my Speed of Light Oracle cards combined with my Animal Kingdom Oracle cards. These have been combined to make a 110 card deck, and I'll be using these to look for the best cards for this week ahead. So that's this week starting Monday the 6th of September through till Sunday the 12th of September. So I trust that you've been led here for a reason, and I trust that something shared supports you at this time and for this week to come. So as always, please take on board what feels right, what resonates, and what fits into your life easily at this time, and let the rest go. Think of this as a guide. Ooh, the wind's getting up. Think of this as a guide only, and allow yourself to be surprised by what comes up. No expectations, in other words. So let's recap on last week's theme. Was the yogi, and the yogi talks about learning and leading, and also about an epiphany of some sort, a level of understanding or a clarification on something that may have been a bit muddy or confusing before. So did you have the penny drop last week? Did you find yourself learning? Did you find yourself leading in different situations? I know I certainly did in all of those aspects. There was a big wake up, a bit of a big realization sort of period last week. So that's sort of the energy of the yogi. So it was definitely there for me. How was it for you? But we've got a new week now, and the new week, well, has started for some of us. Maybe you're still on Sunday, but nonetheless, we are starting our focus on the new week. So I'm shuffling the cards, and what I'm going to do is lay them out here. Hopefully they won't blow away. I'll get out my drumstick, my drum beater, just to hold them down, and we'll see which cards we need for this week. So I'm looking for cards that the majority of us need. I'm not pulling cards for individuals. So I'm asking the cards to please show us what we need to know for this week, starting Monday the 6th of September through till Sunday the 12th of September. What do we need to know? Okay, so the best cards for this week are these, and I'm going to lay them out face down here beside me. So just bear with me a moment. Okay, it looks like we have a card for each day. We've got 3 Speed of Light and 4 Animal Kingdom, as long as we don't have any featured cards. Let's see if we do, turning them over. We do have a featured card. Again, the lunar cycle. This is the 3rd week in a row. It says here to pull the 2nd card from the top of the deck. So I'm going down to card number 2, which is the giraffe. So we'll talk about those 2 cards coming up together soon. So let's just put something over these guys. And let's talk about Monday. Monday the 6th of September. And we have this card, 15, called Projection. And it says Vision. Sorry, I'm cracking myself up now. Vision, focus, concentration, and chaos. If you don't want to be here, how about we just leave, eh? Just turn it off if you don't like it here. It's okay. Just turn it off and go and do something that you love. So projection, vision, focus, concentration, and chaos. Now I lost my concentration there twice since I've pulled this card out. So this is about starting the week with a vision in mind, an ability to focus on the task at hand or focus on what's really important to us. So what are you focusing on as you start the week, and what requires your focus and your attention? And how can you give that task that's important to you your fullest attention? So let's not allow ourselves, especially on Monday, to be distracted or to procrastinate, because procrastination is a distraction. So what is it that requires our attention? What tasks do we need to do and get done? What duties do we need to fulfill? And the more we can focus on those, the better is the feeling. There is a feeling here too that some of us might have a bit of a vision. I don't know why that word's feeling so funny. A vision, a feeling of where we're going or what our future will potentially be moving forward. So there feels to be like a foresight or an ability to visualize. Oh, that's a better word. Doesn't feel so funny. To visualize where we're going or what we're trying to accomplish here. What are we trying to achieve? What are we trying to do? What are our reasons for doing that? So there are these sorts of things I feel we might be contemplating. In fact, we might have been contemplating them over the weekend as well. You know, what are we visualizing for our future? What are we capable of? What are we working towards to get that clarity? It feels like clarity there as well. So this is especially for Monday. It's about projection. So what are we projecting forward into our future? But also what are we projecting around us? But especially bring it into, you know, that focused projection, that focused energy. And then we move down into Tuesday. So this is Tuesday, the 7th of September, and we have the koala. Now the koala is a featured card, but it doesn't want us to pull an extra card. It just wants us to meditate, reflect, and ponder. And the koala says, ponder, slow, quiet, grandfather, and wait. So there is a slow energy that wants to come in on Tuesday. So if we want to be productive, then Monday is probably going to be more favourable to get things done, probably more so than Tuesday, because there is a quieter, pondering, slower feeling to the energy for Tuesday in general. So some of us may feel a bit like we want to curl up and sleep, or you know, there might be just this slower pace, and for some of us that won't be possible, but we may have to go about our tasks feeling a bit slow and feeling a bit in that sort of pondering, slower energy. So there is a bit of a heaviness to this energy. It feels restful if we have the time and if we're able to do so on Tuesday, but that is the general feeling here, bit of a slower energy. And also to wait. So if there's something that we're feeling a bit rushed by, the big message in the last few weeks really has been not to be too hasty or jump to conclusions or be too hasty with our decisions that we make. This has been a bit of an ongoing theme for the last couple of weeks. So it still feels to be in effect, especially Tuesday, to wait. Let's not be too hasty to, you know, to make decisions or choices, to close doors, to open doors, that sort of thing. Okay, so then we move down into Wednesday, and it's card 1, boundaries, and it says truth, protection, courage, and bravery. So this very much highlights our boundaries, and our boundaries may be super important, especially around Wednesday. So Wednesday, the 8th of September, we may find that we need to sort of tighten or secure things up around us, especially boundary-wise. You know, sometimes we let our sort of boundary guard down, like the fence is falling down around us because we've become a little too relaxed perhaps with our boundaries, and it may be affecting us. If it's not affecting us, it doesn't matter. Then we can have relaxed boundaries if we're feeling good about it, if we're staying balanced. But if it's affecting our balance and how we're functioning in our life, then we may need to look at our boundaries and assess whether things have become a bit too relaxed or a little bit too flexible, or we've become a little bit too giving of our time and it's affecting us in a negative way. So it's up to us to decide whether our boundaries are working for us right now or whether they're not. And if they're not, then let's consider doing something about them. And we might really feel like doing that on Wednesday, and our boundaries may be tested Wednesday too. So, let's be careful of being too hasty to say yes. Let's be careful of being too hasty to say no. And, maybe maybe we're sitting with this energy too a bit around that Tuesday period to really figure out what our boundaries are, or also how we're spending our time, because that's also a really important element of boundaries, is the time that we're spending doing things. So if things are taking our time because we're just overcommitted to something, then our boundaries may be a bit relaxed in that area. Again, like I say, if it's working for us, then great. But if it's affecting our energy levels or affecting our stress levels, then we may want to sort of reassess what our boundaries are doing and what needs adjusting or changing. But let's not underestimate how much time plays in that energy too. Oh, the wind's blowing me. You're rocking here on my stool. So let's not underestimate the time that things take, because time is very precious gift. So boundaries, truth, we are protected as well, and courage to look at our boundaries, courage to look at things that challenge our truth. Because what I've realized in this last week, that yes, it's really important that we be honest with ourselves and we express things in an honest and genuine way about how we feel or what's going on for us. But I feel we also need to be open to hearing honesty, because communication is two ways. So, it's not just about us being honest, which is super important. It's also about, can we let ourselves hear honesty? Or are we shutting down, pushing it away, or running away from the honesty that we're avoiding that's coming at us? So it's two ways. And that's been quite strong last week. Okay, so let's move over to the moon, the lunar energy. This is for Thursday, the 9th of September, and we have these two cards. So we've got the moon, lunar cycle, and the giraffe. Now the lunar cycle, this is the third week it came up. It came up 3 weeks ago for the theme. And I forget what was the theme. Actually, the theme may have been the Nautilus, was it, or the Ammonite, one of those, about our healing for the next few weeks, which has been really important. I can't remember what it came up with last week, but it doesn't matter, because this week it's come up with the giraffe. But it talks about a 1 month period. So there seems to be this 1 month sort of energy that's taking place, that's sort of sweeping through at the moment for these last couple of weeks. What's the next 4 weeks hold? Or we might find things are in 4-week blocks, from 1 month to the next, or half the month to the other half of the month. So there might be these 4-week sort of blocks. But for this week, especially around Thursday, is talking about the next month in connection with the giraffe. And the giraffe is card 33, that says to look at things differently. So we're being encouraged to look or consider our perspective, especially on Thursday, but for the next sort of month ahead. So our outlook for the month ahead, we may want to consider that on Thursday. So Thursday the 9th to around the 9th of October, what is our perspective of that? What are we perceiving that's going to potentially occur over this next month? Are we putting too much energy into our assumptions and expectations of what may happen or what's going to happen, and running on that fear? Or can we allow ourselves to deal with the facts when they're presented? So the giraffe is very much about our viewpoint, our perspective, and that if something feels like it's not quite right, or if we're getting too stressed about something, we may want to step back and expand our perspective. In other words, I like to remind myself to look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture. What is the bigger picture about this situation? What is the bigger picture here that I'm not quite seeing? So sometimes the bigger picture, I know for me, helps me be able to step back and alter my perspective into a more realistic sort of viewpoint. So how are you seeing things at the moment, especially on Thursday, and how can you step back perhaps or look at the bigger picture to see more of what's really going on, and especially over these next few weeks or this next month? So that's especially for Thursday. Okay, then we move into Friday. Friday the what? The 10th. Friday the 10th we have the Stag, and the Stag is card 42, and it says new direction. New direction. So this is about trusting our instincts as we move down or walk down, journey down our life's path. So there is this feeling here that by Friday that we're going to potentially be feeling more on track than we perhaps have all week. So there is a sense in some ways that we might feel a bit ungrounded or unclear whether we're on track or on the right path or not. And it feels like Friday, like everything's going to be sort of pointing towards Friday, that's going to help give us the clarity, but also the feeling that we're walking on solid ground again. So this pathway is really important, our life's path. Trusting in our instincts as we move down this path that feels strong and strongest for us. So let's trust in the new direction that we're going, and it might not necessarily be new. It might be more of an affirmed direction, you know, something that we feel more affirmed or more stable with or stronger about or have a clarity about as well. It may not necessarily be a brand new door that we're opening or a brand new path that we're walking on. It just feels different to how it has been feeling lately, where maybe we feel a bit uncertain. Are we standing on solid ground? Where is our path? You know, it almost feels like we're blindfolded in a out in nature, and we're feeling around for where is our path. Or like we're feeling around on the ground with our hands, where are the keys that we've dropped? So there is this feeling of kind of an uncertainty or a lack of clarity perhaps about where is our path right now, where do our legions lie, where are we aligned to, what do we want, how do we feel about certain things. So there is this sort of feeling, and it feels like by Friday we're potentially have the blindfold off so we can pick up those keys or see our path as a path. And once we see and have that clarity of the path, then okay, we have that certainty or a more of a sense of, I guess it's a certainty and a confidence, a knowing that yes, we are on the path. We see it now, but maybe beforehand we don't really see it. It might be a bit difficult to sense. So that's what I'm feeling with the Stag. But we've been encouraged really to trust our instincts, picking up the keys so we can drive ourselves forward again. So let's trust in this sort of, I guess, a little bit of an uncertainty about our path or the direction that we're going, because there are things that we can learn during this sort of limbo period, which we wouldn't learn if we're on the path itself. So we're getting back on track. But by Friday, it feels like the direction is going to be clearer. Okay, and then by Saturday, there is a playful energy around. So this is Saturday, the 11th of September, and it's the Lamb, and the Lamb says to embrace your youthful side. So this is, I was driving back yesterday from the ceramics. I did a ceramics weekend. There was a ceramics retreat in the country, and I was looking at all the little lambs, like oh, here comes someone. She might come and see us. And all the little lambs just playing, all the late winter, early spring lambs. Here she comes. You want to come and say hello to our friends? Come a bit closer. Come on. Come on. Oh, it's a bit awkward. Here she is, Miss Puss. She's come to say hello. It's nice and sunny. Yeah, so while I was driving, all the lambs playing, and I saw this little group of lambs. They were a little older, maybe about 10 lambs, and they were all together in this little school. It looked like a little lamb school, and I had a little chuckle to myself. So that lamby sort of spring energy, especially for us in the Southern Hemisphere, but that playful energy is really strongly coming in for Saturday. And the cat's just sitting here. Yeah, I'll give her a little pat. You know, so I feel like, you know, maybe let's consider on Saturday how serious we're taking things, because sometimes we take things, it's good to be serious about things, but I think sometimes we take things just way too seriously, which adds that extra stress that we don't need right now. So how can we lighten up a bit on Saturday? How can we play a bit? How can we have a little bit of fun in the tasks and the activities that we're doing? So that's the Lamb, springtime, this youthful energy for Saturday. And then, yes, she's having a good old pat here. And then on Sunday, so Sunday the 12th of September, and we have the Nautilus. The Nautilus has been coming up lately too. It's card 39, and it says break negative patterns. So on Sunday, we might find that we have the opportunity to break negative patterns and negative habits and avoid going back to them. So this is a great day on Sunday potentially for us to break those habits we've been saying that we must break, or those negative patterns that we've been caught in a loop with, and to break down that shell and what we've been hiding behind with these habits or patterns. You know, how have they been contributing to us hiding and holding back, and how can we break down that shell of negativity, that shell of bad habits or negative patterns that have been holding us back, because they do hold us back. And it's up to us whether we determine they're a negative pattern or a habit or not. But if we decide and realize that this has been repeating itself, then it's a pattern. And we might find that at some point this pattern does not support our growth any longer. And we might find that on Sunday, where we look at something we've been doing, maybe an attitude that we've got or a habit that we've been doing for a long time, and we might look at it on Sunday and recognize that, hey, this is actually holding me back, or hey, this doesn't really support me, or I don't need to be doing this anymore. So there is this sort of feeling here for Sunday. So there are the cards for this week. Very interesting. Feels like a bit of a mixed bag potentially, especially until Friday, when we're starting to get more clarity, more perspective of the bigger picture and where we're going and what we want to do and where we want to step. And I'm sorry, this is just I'll see if I've got something I can put under you, but it seems my stool is very rickety here on the grass, so hopefully that's better. But thank you. I'm going to pull the theme card in just a second. I've got all the cards. So before I do, thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you would love to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. So I have just announced, or just figured out, that my next online shop drop for ceramics will be next Thursday, the 16th of September, not this Thursday. So there will be some raku pieces. I can't wait to show you in person. My little dragon and little cat I glazed yesterday, but I'll probably bring those out and show you in the video for next week's guidance. And I have a few other things in my kiln, my electric kiln, that I want to fire this week. So I should have a few things on the 16th of September, so keep an eye out for that. Also this Saturday the 11th is our next online art class. It happens monthly now, and our theme is freedom. So if you would love to explore that energy of freedom for your healing and create an artwork around freedom, then please have a look on my website to learn more about my online art class. There is a video replay, but it's only available to people who participate. And then this Friday is the next chakra series video, which is the throat. The good old throat chakra. We'll be exploring that this Friday, and that's for my Pillar of Light members and my $10 patrons or higher. If you would love to participate in the chakra series and support my work, then please consider becoming a Pillar of Light member or a patron. If you would love to learn more about me, please visit templeofbalance.com.au. We've had a wind warning, but it's not till tomorrow morning, but it definitely feels like the wind's getting up. So I'm quite used to it, because we're in the roaring 40s, so it's a windy place. But anyway, let's look for the best card for the theme. The best card for the theme for this week ahead, that's the 6th till the 12th of September 2021. This will help bring all this whole week together and help us see the bigger picture, is this card. It's a Speed of Light Oracle card. And it's this. Oh, we have a featured card. It's the White Tiger. And it has further instructions here which say to split the deck and take the top card. So I'm going to split and take this guy, or this lady. It's Gaia. So let's pop the deck away. We've got these two cards for the theme, and I have already talked a bit about this card here. We're going to look at them separately, and then we'll look at their relationship together. So, White Tiger, card 48. It says schedule, routine, adjustment, and management. So I talked about on Wednesday, I talked about boundaries, and I talked about how important it is to look at our schedule and our routine. And that's very much what this card's about. It's about looking at our priorities, looking at how we spend our time and our schedule. Because as we change and grow, and we're doing it so quickly, like probably every month I'm reassessing my schedule and my routine. So every time we're changing, our priorities shift a bit, potentially. So, and as we open and close our doors, our priorities shift a lot. So every time we make a big change like that, we also might find it helpful to look at our schedule and our routine. So there feels to be this look this week, over this next week period, of our routine and of our schedule and how we spend our time. Where are we giving our time and our power away? Where are our boundaries a bit relaxed or a little lazy or a little broken down? And what can we do to get those boundaries, get our routine, get our schedule back on track? Something that I find super helpful is looking at my schedule, looking at how I spend my time. What am I spending my time doing, actually doing, and what do I want to spend my time doing, and where are they at conflict? What do I need to change about how I'm actually spending my time so it matches with what I do want to be spending my time doing? And that includes airtime, that includes thinking time, because sometimes if we're really stressed about certain things in our life, that takes up a lot of airtime and a lot of time on the clock, if you like. So looking at our schedule, our routine, and making adjustments as required may be important this week. And that's connected with this card, and on its own, it's card 33, Gaia, and it says spring. We've got another spring message. Spring, nature, message, listen, and life. Life is calling us. Life is calling us. Now, for some of us, this may be nature. Nature time may be required. And if that's the case, we may need to make time to connect with nature. But this card's also about life. That life is calling us out of our shell, out of our hiding place, out of uncertainty, and into it. So can you make time? There's some playing going on next door. Can you make time for life? How can you make time for life this week? And first of all, it may be important to consider, what does that mean to you? To be called into life. What is life for you? What is important about your life? What are the important elements? Maybe for you, you love family time, but maybe you've been in lockdown, maybe you haven't had time, maybe there's been distance or time that just passes where you haven't been able to spend as much time as you want with your family. So this is about considering making time for that brings life to you. Maybe your family time, maybe your hobbies, maybe your spirituality, maybe your relationships. So what brings life to you, and what has been taking life away from you, and what can you work out as far as your schedule and time and how you spend your time in regards to life that's calling you this week. So this this information feels important for the long term, which then takes me back to that very first card that I was laughing about, the vision and visualizing where we're going and getting that focus and that clarity that we might need. So that really ties in with this card and its message about life and making time for life, making time for the things that help us feel alive. What makes you and helps you feel alive? And have you been giving as much time as you need to on those things that make you feel alive? Or have you been doing the things that make you feel a bit dead inside, lifeless? If so, that may be where boundaries need to be reined in, and really think about the time that we need to make so we can feel alive. Because this is a real gift we have right now, is feeling alive. So how can you help yourself feel more alive this week? So, interesting. Let's see how it plays out. Thank you so much for joining me today. I trust you've enjoyed this connection. Thank you for your patience, and I hope and trust it hasn't been too windy and too rocky. Hope you're not seasick or anything from all this wind here. But thank you for joining me. Have a great week ahead. Happy birthday, happy anniversary if you're celebrating. I look forward to connecting with you on Friday for the throat chakra, on Saturday for the art class, or next Monday for our next weekly guidance. And I might pop in between as inspired. So thank you so much. Have a great week, and I will see you next time I see you. Take care. Bye for now.